Hello, Leo. Thank you for joining me for your monthly horoscope for August for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to chat with me about astrology, you can do so on Twitter at Horoscope Ace. I answer every interaction. Or you can join Elisa and I for the daily astrology and tarot video show where you can grab your free daily written horoscope plus get an overview of the astrology for each day and also Elisa's slice of spiritual analysis. It's proven great fun and really popular. Please see the link beneath this video. Also, if you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace more serious astrology, please check out my affordable range of reports beneath this video, or you can choose to have a one-to-one with me. Please see my testimonials. Now, this month begins with the Sun in your sign. The Sun loves being in Leo because it governs this sign. So this is a furnace of warmth. But Mercury, the planet of communication, has been trapped in quite an isolated and withdrawn part of your scope ever since the 29th of May. Since the 2nd of June has been in shadow, since the 18th of June, then went through a 3-week retrograde. So it's possible that you have been feeling a little bit frustrated or perhaps more inward and reflective than usual. But the great news is that on the 5th of this month, Mercury powers into your sign. Now it's going to be there just through till the 19th of the month. So it's a quick transit, but it's going to bring you into the moment and see you much more engaged by grappling with the things that are important to you in terms of your individual agenda. But the 3rd of this month does see an opposition in terms of the full moon, which is in the sign of Aquarius, which is about groups of people. It's about society as a whole rather than the Sun, which is very much about you, the individual. And this full moon is T-squaring the rather restless energies of Uranus. If you have been in that frustration, being unsure about what to do with your career, and especially if it does depend on some kind of level of interaction or cooperation with others, the following 2 weeks is going to be an interesting time. It could see you being really quite restless, and you may decide to make some sudden changes if you do feel penned in. But also, if a relationship hasn't been working very well for you, that could be an area that you may have to consider carefully over this next couple of weeks. And this is particularly so because Venus, the planet of relating, which itself has been going through a very long transit through the sign of Gemini since the 4th of April, emerges into the sign of Cancer, which is your 12th house, where Mercury's just left, on the 7th of this month. So you may still have part of you that can be a little bit more sensitive. But on the other side of the heavens, Mars, the planet of action, is in a superb part of your scope, and it's very much about firing you up to widen your horizons. The thing is, it is clashing with Jupiter in the first 10 days, and from the 5th through to the 21st with Pluto, the planet of power, and in the last 2 weeks of this month with Saturn, the planet of restriction. If there's something that has become really quite burdensome for you, it may be a domestic routine. Perhaps if you are involved with someone, you and your partner need to have a chat about having a new approach to sharing the domestic load. Or is it that something that's quite workaday and dull is stopping you from feeling a freer spirit as you'd really like to be? This has been quite a theme for you for some time. And I think as this year goes on, because Mars is continuing its journey in the sign of Mars through to the 6th of January next year, what's going to happen is that all of September and the first 2 weeks of October, this kind of energy is going to be repeated, where you may feel yourself becoming more hemmed in or more resentful, actually, of making sacrifices if it's stopping you being the freedom lover you want to be. So, if the practicalities of COVID, for example, are closing in on you and you're feeling penned in, that could be something that just ramps up your sense of inhibition and limitation. So you may need to find some creative ways to create a new, more varied discourse for yourself. And even if you can't physically move around quite so much, what Mars in the ninth house does point towards is perhaps learning a new skill, perhaps online, that helps you to then find some kind of escape from any situation that does feel rather entrapped. But if this does link into a relationship matter, I do feel that this can be a sensitive point, certainly in the early part of this month. But from the 11th through to the 20th, the Sun forges an awesome angle to Mars. And if you're very clear about what you want to achieve, how you're going to get there, and you've thought about the practicalities, this will give you tremendous determination and willpower to bust down any obstacles and really go for what makes your heart sing. So good luck if you do need to do that. Now, there's also a glorious new moon in your sign on the 19th, which also embraces in a trine the energy, the radiating energy of Mars. So this is going to take you through to the middle of September, this energy. So if you are single-minded and you have a mission that really works for you, those irritating pressures that could be prompted by the posse of influences in the sign of Capricorn can be overcome. But I think it may require some juggling, and especially if other people have been relying upon you and perhaps become used to relying upon you. But I think Uranus feeding into that full moon is the clue here. If you're a little bit bored, a change is calling out to you, whether it's in your work or in your home routines. Now, the 15th actually, ironically, sees Uranus go into a long retrograde. And if you're in a job which, in some ways, perhaps it might be a job that you enjoy, but perhaps it doesn't challenge you as much as you could do with, then Uranus's retrograde can make you think again about how you can redeploy your worldly interactions in a way which does provide more mental and physical stimulation. But the 20th sees Mercury move out of your sign and into Virgo, joined by the Sun on the 22nd. Now, Mercury is also going to forge a very positive angle with Jupiter and Pluto in the last days of this month. And that can help you find the details to take through a bigger plan, a more flamboyant plan, in a very positive way. But it is true that with the Sun squaring up Mars squaring up with Saturn in the last 2 weeks of this month, that if you do feel hemmed in some way and finding it difficult to break out, I think that could lead to some headaches, feeling really quite exasperated more easily with limitations. Also, Venus does go into an opposition with Pluto in the last few days of this month. If there is a relationship which hasn't been working so well and you have been thinking a lot about what to do about it, an issue could come to light, a piece of information which could surprise you. Also, a professional relationship may need a little bit of care as well. Not everybody is going to be dealing in an open and obvious way. And when Pluto's involved, that can lead to some hidden motives, especially with Venus trapped in the more psychological area of your scope, which is to do with kind of hidden enemies, if I'm perfectly honest. So if there is a trust issue in an existing relationship, I think it could come to the fore as this month comes to a close. But what that energy in Virgo can do is improve your financial situation, give you more focus in how you can shape the energy of Mars, but in a productive way, which gives you some kind of tangible return. Now, once again, if you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace my special offer of 30% off for a year's forecast and a character analysis, or check out my testimonials below to consider having a one-to-one with me, it would be a pleasure. But for now, take care, Leo, stay safe, and good luck.